this trip, gained from this trip, is probably a lot of confidence. I guess just being able to, I was always myself, but learning more to be yourself in different situations and just kind of go with the flow, and just being confident in yourself that even though you don't know what's going to happen next, that you're going to be okay and you probably will do the right thing. One thing I'll never forget is probably the Jury Centre. That pulled my heartstrings a lot, seeing those kids in there. Kids in the Jury Centre for all the wrong reasons. But also seeing the confidence that a lot of them showed and the energy that a lot of them had moving into everything was just really beautiful as well. Okay, so Kelly, I find you very insightful. I think you have this tremendous ability to see inside somebody through their good traits and their bad traits, to see the person that they are inside, and I think that's really incredible. It's a beautiful gift that not many people have. I think you're genuine. Whenever you say something or whenever you give an opinion, I know you're being you, and I know that it's the truth, and it's really where you're coming from. And I just think that you're one of the funnest people to be around, and I'm glad I've met you, and I know that we will keep up a very beautiful friendship with or without snacks.
One thing I hope I never forget is just how enjoyable the simple life can be. One thing I've gained from the trip is just perspective on the different cultures and what's actually needed and what isn't. And a piece of advice I'd give to myself before is either don't be a feeder or take advantage and get more people into the feeding club earlier.
What is a feeder?
Someone who has a love for food and encourages others to be in that love for food.
Great. You don't look like a feeder, you're quite slim.
Trying to see my feeder belly?
No.
Okay. I am affirmating Karen. She has a great laugh and smile. She is super enthusiastic and has a good zest for life. She's passionate to achieve the most out of her goals. She's generous, especially to those she loves, and she's classically beautiful and has some hot legs.
One thing that I have gained in this experience is a greater worldly perspective of humanity, of the two different cultures, of both here and at home, and of individuals. One thing I'll never forget is the people that I've met along the way. This group, obviously, the Evelyns, the Cindy's, like little Joyce that greets us every day, and of the individuals that I've met, like Laureen and some of the children at the Juvenile Centre.
Great. And if you could go back in time, give yourself one piece of advice before you left on for the trip, what would you tell yourself?
That you're okay.
Fantastic, that's good. Alright, thank you.
Hi Megan, I find you such an inspiring person. I love the way that you can listen and take up people what they're saying, but stay true to yourself. I find that you're absolutely stunning girl, and you're an infectious positive attitude.
On to what I've learnt this trip. A lot, but I think a lot of it I will more realise that I've learnt when I get home and on reflection. Obviously a lot, like I think about myself and about working communities and stuff like that in developing countries, and we've had great discussions as groups about wider issues and everything, but I think a lot of it, yeah, as I said, reflection when I get home. The whole experience I'll never forget. It's been amazing. Don't want to go home, but mostly the kids, just running around with the kids, talking to the kids, and mostly doing the stuff in the school, working with the kids, and when the kids come to the work site and stuff like that, and the GV tour that we did in Kasumu, those things just will really stick in my mind, how beautiful those kids were and just how honest and happy and smart they were. Talking about the lovely Sarah. A few of the qualities I found for Sarah was, the first time I met her, was just so pleased by her genuineness and like obviously learned that a lot more throughout the trip, how genuine, honest and just friendly she is. Like she's straightforward to you, extremely kind, her manner is brilliant. I can imagine her just being a brilliant nurse. I also think like she's doing an amazing trip here to start with 6 weeks with us, which is a really hardcore trip, and then to go on for 7 more months doing an OSP and everything. So her bravery, you know, is great quality. Her also just like her worksite efforts and everything, that's just, you know, her hardworking thing. She's such a silent achiever. She works hard every day, and she's a quiet girl, but just goes about it and puts all in it. It's good to see. And also just her laugh. I have a really good laugh with Sarah. She's brilliant. Her laugh's actually quite contagious in itself. It's quite funny. And it's just, yeah, it's been a great getting to know her.
One thing you've gained from this trip? Yeah.
One thing that I've gained from this trip is perspective on various things, world issues and how we can deal with them, what we can do as individuals and groups, nursing stuff, and I guess self-perspective as well. And then the one thing I don't want to forget is I want to remember how I felt when I was sitting at the airport, a little bit nervous, a little bit scared, a bit unsure, and now how I'm feeling, having done the program, feeling pretty amazing, quite content. So I guess just that transition from the start to the finish. And then one thing I told myself before I came, I guess a piece of advice I give myself is probably to make sure I really focus on being in the moment, and really focus on being here throughout the program.
Cool.
Yep.
So just beautiful. I'm start with your affirmation.
Alright, so my affirmation is for Jordan. Jordan, I think you are amazing. You are very passionate, proactive and motivated, and you're very friendly.
The one thing that I gained from this trip, I just think knowledge about obviously Kenya, how it runs, knowledge about what we can, what they need from, like what aid they need, what help they need, but also just how we can work with them, like not just come in and give them things, but and I've also like the knowledge of like how great they are, like how many good things that is happening, and how good the people are. Basically, it's just good to see so many great things going on. One thing I hope I'll never forget, the kids, I guess, basically, and just all the days at the work site. But like I think the kids, like that will be my main memory, walking home and having them all come up and hug you, and obviously my team. There will be there's like 3 things, but the 2 things that I won't forget. And one piece of advice you've given yourself beforehand. It's a really hard one. I think I just think this is hard. I think I have to advice I would have given myself would have just be more patient and just more. I think I've got it towards the end now, like my understanding of it all and how it runs differently, and seeing things that we can't do anything about. But I maybe before I would have come here, I would have said, just take it on the chin a bit more and don't get upset or impatient about certain things. So yeah, I guess that. So Tegan, your best qualities, or the things that I think are the best about you, basically, like I said the other night, your strength as an 18-year-old and your maturity as an 18-year-old, that you're here for 10 weeks, the only participant to have done it on this trip, just shows your courage and your ability to keep pushing through, because it's been hard and you've struggled at times and you've fully admitted to that and taken the time when you've needed it, but I just think again that you're amazing, and I just think that your passion for things is great, and it's only going to grow stronger, and I think you're going to do amazing things.
I think I'll never forget about my time here in Kenya is how hard I worked and how I thought I couldn't do it before I left, and how much I thought I would struggle, but I got through it, and I hope when I think back and remember it, I realise how much stronger I am for it now. This trip has helped me learn to be more independent and be away from my family, which I also thought I would struggle with, but now I know that I can live without them and I can be by myself.
Only for a little while. Not forever. Can't live without your family forever.
I can live without my family for short periods of time.
And if you could go back in time before your trip and give yourself one piece of advice before coming here, what would it be?
Advice. To not be so hard on myself when I am struggling, and just remember that I am still young and I can struggle if I want to.
Right.
So Karina is my person to affirmate, and the 5 things I love about Karina is that she's friendly, really awesome, super successful, smart, and really funny as well.
One thing I hope I'll never forget from this trip will probably be the day we got stuck in the storm at Ragengi and got absolutely drenched, and then had to take a Matati ride back to Adede, and got dancing at the back of the Matati with the local women to some Kenyan music, and we just had a blast, and we were wet and muddy and gross, but we just had so much fun doing it, and it was just great. One thing I've gained from the trip is a huge sense of achievement, not just in the project and what we've been able to do with the community, but also individually as our, just on an individual level, just the people we've become and the way we've bonded and things like that, and I think that's a really big achievement as well. One piece of advice I would have given myself before the trip would be to take time every day to reflect on the little things that have made this trip amazing and the little moments that have all added up to make this experience just awesome, because the trip just went so quickly and it's a blink of an eye and it's over, so just to take that time to reflect every day and appreciate that we're here and what we're doing.
Beautiful. That's nice.
Favourite qualities of Anthea are her easygoing nature, the way she's so laid back, takes everything in her stride, doesn't matter what challenges are thrown at her. She's got a massive heart, and even after 10 weeks she's still putting 100% effort in on the worksite every single day and having a blast doing it.
Alright, so Australia Day, even though we weren't able to drink and couldn't do things that we would usually all do back home, I think being able to spend it here and share it with everybody makes it unique in its own sense. It's nothing that anybody else can say they've done with these same people, and I think taking that home will be something great to remember. And just, yeah, the day sitting out here in the afternoon, drinking tea, playing Mafia was probably one of the best days I ever had here. Probably the biggest thing is a better understanding of development and the effects that it can have, and the role that we can play in it, not just in Kenya but anywhere. And then I think from that as well, just like not a boost, but like a reassurance in what I want to do with my life, so that this is the type of thing I like to do, and coming here really set that for me. So take it home with me. So I have Sophie. This Kit Kat bar is for you after we finished, if you behave well. 3 to 5 things about you. I think you have an awesome beauty, in the words of Maurice and Osborne. You have an amazing personality. You're so bright and bubbly. You keep the team together. I love the fact that I got to sit with you for a day on the feeders couch. I'm glad I left you there, but I hope you can get off the food.
One thing I hope I never forget about this trip is the importance and effectiveness that developmental aid can have. I thought I was a little bit, unsure whether our project would actually be of benefit or whether it was going to just be novelty aid, but I think that it's obvious our efforts here are not at all futile and they are helping people in Odede. And the next question.
What have you gained?
I have gained a love for Africa and 12 new friends.
What are you doing, Nick?
I wasn't doing
Why are you laughing so hard?
Why did that just happen?
Yeah!